Okay, so I think we're supposed to do the 6 and the 7s, right? So I'll do the 6 and the 7s. Um, by now, you should be very familiar with the procedure. So we're looking at this, and again, we're asking ourselves: is there any distributed property? No. Again, we're looking. Make sure you look at it separately. Right? Look at the left side. Look at the right side. Is there any distributed property to do? No. Are there any terms I can combine on the left side? So if you look on the left side, let me divide this into two sides. Are there any of these three terms that I can combine? And I can combine. I can combine these two fellows right here. Character-like terms. Right, on the right side, there's nothing to combine, so that. So plus 1 and minus 7 is negative 6, and then I'll write down the 7b. So that's step 1, right? Step 2, actually. Distributed property, combine like terms. Step 3 says look at the left side and look at the right side. Are there variables on both sides? If there is, you get rid of one of them. If there aren't, then you're good. So if there aren't, and now you're step 4, and step 4 is where you will have a two-step equation, and you can finally do this, right? Variable b times 7 minus 6 equals 15. And going backwards, I'm going to do plus 6 first, and then I'm going to divide by 7. And you're going to be at the point which by now you should be very, very familiar. So plus 6, that's what it's telling us to do first. So I'm going to guess 7b across these two could become 0. 15 plus 6 is 21. Second thing I need to do is divide both sides by 7. Divide by 7, divide by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 1 times b is just b, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. So that's my answer. Your check, and again, we're going to replace the b with a 3. So I'm going to just change colors here. I'm going to put the number 3. So that's my expression. So on the right side, there's nothing to do. It's already 15. And here, I'm going to have to do order of operations to make sure that the left side equals 15. So first thing we do is 7 times 3, which is 21. Then I'm going to add 1 and subtract 7. From left to right, 21 plus 1 is 22. And then I subtract 7, and 22 minus 7 is 15. And that equals the 15 that's already on the right side. And that was your complete problem. 16. Actually, let me do 6 and 7 on the same page. So 7, again, distributed property? No. Combine like terms? Yes. Again, let me separate this because I did see some of you guys combining terms from this side with terms on that side. You can't do that. Okay, so look at each side separately, left and right. So on the left side, can I combine anything? I can combine this guy with this guy. Negative 4x plus 2 plus 6x is positive 2x, right? And then minus 3 equals 5. So there was distributed property, combine like terms, and then look at the left side, is there a variable? And look at the right side, is there a variable as well? If there is, get rid of one of them. But there isn't any of that, so I'm going to write A for, no, not A, I'm going to write V for variables. So you check for that. You check for distributed property, you check to combine like terms, you check for variables on both sides. Now you can finally solve. And the solving part becomes the part where you can, if you like, yeah, set up your problem this way. Not set up your problem, but set up your instructions, right? So that you can tell which steps you're going to be doing to find the value of x. So here's my variable x, which is being multiplied by 2, subtract 3 equals 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 3 and then divide by 2. Those are the two steps, and hence it's called a two-step equation from this part on. Plus 3, plus 3. Again, make sure you know that it's plus 3 and plus 3 on both sides. That equals 8. Minus 3 and plus 3 is 0. Bring down the 2x. And now we're going to do divide by 2, sorry. Divide by 2. And x equals 4. Minus 4. I'm going to try to write the equation. Minus 4 minus 3 plus 6 times equals 5. So I just want to change color. So instead of dx, I'm going to put a 4. I put a 4 over here. So we got to figure out if substituting that x value we just found does make that equation true. Because that's what we're trying to find, right? What value of x can I put in here and here so that this equation equals 5. So negative 4 times 4 is negative 24. Minus 3 plus 6 times 4 is 24. And I can already tell you there's something wrong here. No? Yeah, there's something wrong. Because this is not going to, oh, I'm sorry, no, yeah, am I wrong? Is that negative 4 times 4? It's not 24, it's negative 16. Sorry. All right, now we can do this. So negative 16 and negative 3, this combines, it becomes negative 19. And then I'm going to add 24. Negative 19 plus 24 is positive 5. Does that equal the 5 on the other side? Yeah, you could. Next one is 16 and 17. Again, distributive property? Nope. Combine like terms? Nope. I can't combine 1 and 3x, and I can't combine negative 5 and x, so that's a no. Variables, yes, there's a variable on the left side, and there's a variable on the right side. There's just 3x over here, and there's an x over there. Get rid of one of them. I don't care which one you do, because you end up with the same answer. So usually, we get rid of the smaller guy. So plus x, so if it's because it's plus x, I'm going to do minus x. If I do minus x on this side, I do minus x on this side. Plus x and minus x becomes 0. We are left over with negative 5, and we got what we wanted to do, which is eliminate that x. On this side, I get 1, and plus 3 minus, and remember, there's a 1 over here. Plus 3 minus 1 is plus 2x. So I took care of that. Now I can do this. Here's a variable x, which is being multiplied by 2 and added to 1, which equals negative 5. So we're going to do minus 1 and divide by 2. So minus 1 on that side. These two go away because it becomes 0. So 2x equals negative 5 and negative 1 is negative 6. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and x equals negative 3. So that's the value. So let's do a check. That's 1 plus 3 times, I'm going to leave that blank for a second, negative 5 plus blank. And instead of the blank, I'm going to use the value we just found, which is negative 3. And negative 3 over here. So you actually have to work on both sides this time. So on this side, negative 5 plus negative 3, that's easy. Negative 8. On this side, we get, and we have to do order of operations, so we got 1. And positive 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, right? And 1 minus 9 is negative 8, which does equal negative 8 on the other side. 17, likewise, so 17 is a little bigger than I think. Well, 17. Distributed property, no. Combining like terms, for sure, I think I can combine. So negative 8 and negative 2v, those two I cannot combine. But on this side, I can combine these two guys here. Negative 7 and negative 7v and negative 7v gives me negative 14v. And then the plus 16. Combine like terms, done. Variables, is there a variable on the left side and a variable on the right side? There is. So one of them have to go. So you see a v here and a v here. So pick one of them, and I'm going to pick the 14. I'm going to do plus 14 here. That's the opposite of negative 14. And I'm going to do plus 14v here as well. So negative 14v and plus 14v, that becomes 0. 16 will come down. On this side, I'm going to have negative 8. And be careful. It's negative 2 plus 14v. Negative 2v, sorry, plus 14v. You get negative 2. So you're going to, well, let me write it down, plus 14v. So you know there's going to be something v, right? So look at the coefficients. Negative 2 plus 14, there's more positives. How many more? 12. So the answer is positive 12v. Done. Now we're ready to do a little chart here. V is a variable, is being multiplied by 12, subtract 8 equals 16. Going backwards, we're going to do plus 8 and divide by 12. So those are the two steps we're going to do. So let's do that. Plus 8 here, plus 8 here. 16 plus 8, I stretched that line there. 16 plus 8 is 24. These two 8's become 0, and 12v comes down. Divide by 12, divide by 12, and v equals 2. Our check, so it's going to be negative 8 minus 2 times the v equals negative 7 times the v minus negative 7 times v plus 16. I just left it blank because I want to make sure I put a different color for v. So v's 2, and just make sure here that there's a minus sign. Alright, so let's do that. So on the left side, it's negative 8, and negative 2 times negative 2 times 2 is negative Negative 8 times minus negative 4 is negative 12. That's done. On the right side, you have negative 7 times 2. Now I'm going to do this slowly. Negative 14. Minus 7 times 2, which is also 14. And then the plus 16. Negative 14 and negative 14 is negative 28, which I'm going to add positive 16. And negative 28 plus 16 is negative 12. And this is also good. 26 and 27. All right, so now we have finally something which is distributive property. So distributive property, yes, let's take care of it. Negative 7. Negative 49n equals 90. Distributive property check. Combine like terms. Nope. Is there a variable on each side of the equation? Nope. So I don't have to do that. I can go to starting to do this. Variable is n, which is being multiplied by negative 49. Subtract 7 gives you 91. So I'm going to do plus 7, and then I'm going to divide by negative 49. So plus 7 is my first step on both sides. Negative 49 equals 98. And then we divide by negative 49. Divide by negative 49. That becomes 1. 1 times n is n. And on this side, 98 divided by negative 49 is negative 2. Check. So we have 7 minus 1 minus 7. And I'm going to leave some space there. Times negative 2, right? So we got to make sure that those are equal. So in here, I'm going to do order of operations, which says, let's do the parentheses first. So here's 7. Inside the parentheses, we have negative 1 minus, negative 1 minus, and then negative 7 times negative 2, which gives you positive 49. 7 times negative 1 plus 49 is, there's something wrong here. Yeah, I can't multiply. That's what's wrong. Because 7 times 2 is plus 14. Sorry. Equals 91. Now I can do negative 1 plus 14, which is 13, equals 91. And 7 times 13 is 91, which equals each other. Oof. 27. 27. 224 equals negative 16, right? Distributive property. And negative times a positive is negative 48k. That's done. Combine like terms. Nope. Variables on both sides. Nope. Let's solve. My variable is k, which is being multiplied by negative 48, and then subtracted 16, and then that equals 224. Going backwards, we're going to do plus 16, and then divide by negative 48. Just careful there. So, that. Plus 16. Plus 16. These two will become 0. We got negative 48k. And over here we get negative 240. Divide by negative 48. Divide by negative 48, right? So that allows us to isolate the variable. The variable is going to be all by itself, which is what we wanted in all these problems. And 240 divided by negative 48, it looks like 5. Negative 5. Yeah, it's negative 5. Check. 224 equals negative 8. Parentheses 2 plus 6 times, and I'm just going to write negative 5 this time. 224 equals negative 8. Do the parentheses first. So 2, and we got to do the multiplication here. So 2 plus 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Negative 8, and 2 plus negative 30 is negative 28. And now we got to multiply this times this to give you 224. Well, it's going to be positive, first of all. So 8 times 8 is 64, carry 6. 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 6 is 2, indeed, 224. So we're good there, too. 37, 38. 37 has the three-digit property, so we're going to start with that. Negative 30 minus 18n equals 16 minus 5n. So that's done. Combine like terms. 30 and 18 can't. 16 and 5 can't because they're not like terms. Are there variables on both sides? Yes, there are. There's an n on the left side and then negative 18n on the left side and negative 5n on the other side. So get rid of one of them. Let's get rid of this guy. You know what? Let's get rid of the 5n. But it's a minus 5n, so I'll do plus 5n. And I'll do plus 5n on the other side. So that's going to give us, this becomes 0, 16, negative 30 comes down, and then we got to worry about negative 18n plus 5n. So it's going to give us negative 13n. Now, we've done that. We can do this. Variable is what? N, which is being multiplied by negative 13, and that gives you negative, and then subtract negative 30, which gives you 16. So we're going to do plus 30 and then divide by negative 13. So what is that? So plus 30 here, plus 30 here. Minus 30 and 30 is 0. Negative 13n comes down, equals, and 16 plus 30 is 46. Just give me a second just to make sure I have this correct. 16 minus 5n, that goes away. 18 plus 5n is negative 13n plus 30, 16 plus 30 is 46. Give me a fractional value. Just let me pause this for a second. Well, yep, I did it wrong, so I'm going to do it again. So my mistake, and I can tell what my mistake is, was here. Just for the record. Negative 6 times 5 is negative 30, so that was correct. And negative 6 times negative 3 was positive 18, so all that. So, I'll start again. It's 3 property, negative 30 plus 18n equals 16 minus 5. Combine like terms. No. Variables on both sides. Yes. So again, let's get rid of one of the variables. Let's get rid of this guy, 5n, and then I do plus 5n, right? Because this was a minus 5n. So minus 5n plus 5n becomes 0. 16 comes down, and then I got negative 30 and 18n plus 5n. Now that's 23n. So a little different now. Variables on both sides. So here's my variable n, which is being multiplied by 23, and then minus 30, and that gives you 16. Right? So notice these numbers are the same that are over here. So what are we going to do? We're going to go back and do plus 30. Alexa, stop. And then we're going to divide both sides by 23. So these are the two steps we're going to take care of. Alexa, stop. Plus 30. Plus 30. Minus 30 and plus 30 becomes 0. 23n, positive 23n comes down. 16 plus 30 is 46. We're good so far. We're going to divide this by 23. We're going to divide this by 23. 23 divided by 23 is 1. 1 times n is n. And this becomes 2. Check. Negative 6 times multiplied by parentheses 5. 3 times 2, which equals 16 minus 5 times the 2 again. So I'm just going to write 2 as a different column. So those are my 2 substitutions that I made. 6, and inside the parentheses, we get 5 minus and 3 times 2 is 6, right? Negative 6 times 5 minus 6 is negative 1. And then we're going to do negative times a negative is a positive, and the left side equals 6. On the right side, let's see that equals 6. So 16 minus 5 times 2 is 10, and 16 minus 10 is 6, and we know they equal to each other, so we know we did something good here. 47 and 48. 46 and 47. So 46 and 47, we finally get to those problems that have everything, right? All three. They have a distributive property, they have a combined like terms, they have variables on both sides. So let's do a distributive property. 46, 12x plus 54 equals negative 8x. And here's where the distributive property happens. So it's negative 4 times negative 5, which is positive 20x. And negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. Distributive property, check. Combine like terms, yeah. Not on the left side, because I can't add these two. But on the right side, I can combine this guy and this guy. So I'm going to just copy 12x plus 54. Those two can't be subtracted or added. But negative 8x and plus 20x. So it's negative 8 plus 20, which gives you 12x. And then that minus 8. So that's done as well. Variables on both sides. Yeah, there's a variable here. And this variable here. So we get rid of one of them. So you'll notice a little something weird is going to happen here. So let's say we take out this. Well, they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter. So let's take out this guy out. And let's take out this guy. Right? Because whatever you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. So if you take this 12x, that gets the job done. And then you get 54 equals. And then these two also get eliminated. And we got negative 8. It's 54 equal to negative 8. Basically, this is saying, is this ever going to be true? Is 54 ever going to be negative 8? No. So, in this case, there is no solution. There's nothing we can ever put in here instead of x here and here, right? There's no number in this world that we can replace the x with so that these two will equal each other. So, the answer to this is no solution. Now, if it was 54 equals 54, well, then that'd be a different story. The solution would be every single number out there, right? And I'll explain this in class in a moment. But for this one, when they're not equal to each other, because 54 will never equal negative 8. So there's no solution for this one. And our last problem for Saturday morning at 8:48 a.m. Distributive property. So let's just move this up a little bit. Distributive property, yeah. You can see right away that there is. Let's do that. So negative times a negative is a positive. Negative times a negative is a positive again. On the right side, there's also distributive property. So that's negative 2p. And negative times a positive is a negative, so it's negative 4. Check. Combine like terms. Actually, there isn't. I can combine 14 and 4p, and I can combine negative 2p and negative 4, so that's done. Variables. Is there a variable on the left side and a variable on the right side? Yes, so one of them have to go. Let's pick this guy. Minus 2p, so in order to get rid of it, I'll do plus 2p. And if I do plus 2p here, I'll do plus 2p here. Right? Always the same thing on both sides. And we're going to get that these will go away. Negative 4 comes in. 4p plus 2p, 6p plus 14. Done. Now I can do this, which tells me I have a variable p, which is being multiplied by 6 plus 14. And that gives me negative 4. Going backwards, negative minus 14 divided by 6. Those are the two steps I'm going to do. So let's start with the first one. Minus 14 on the left side, minus 14 on the right side. These two go away. 6p equals negative 18, right? Because negative 4 and negative 14 is negative 18. Then I have to do divide by 6, divide by 6. P equals negative 3. If anything, I think the substitution might be a little bit harder, right? So, but if you're really, really careful, leave that P, let me just move this a little bit. So I'm going to do it here. Negative 2 minus 2 times P times minus 7 equals negative 2 P plus 2. So I'm going to replace a P in a different color so that you can see that's negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. Now we just get to solve. So on the left side, negative 2, leave it alone for a second. What's negative 3 plus 2? It's negative 1. Negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 1 is 2. So that whole thing is 2. So the left side should also equal to 2, and hopefully it is. So do inside the parentheses, and inside the parentheses we got negative 2 times negative 3. That's negative 3, right? So that gives me positive 6. Right, minus 7. Step by step. Negative 2, and then we have 6 times 6 minus 7, sorry, is negative 1. Again, we have the same thing we have on the right side. So it's a negative times a negative, which is a positive, and 2 times 1 is 2. So that was a little bit of your review. Hopefully you're still watching this, and I'm going to do a couple of problems here on creating equations, because you will have one question on that. So let's pick, I don't know, k equals 5, for example. And let's create an equation here. I'm going to create an equation, a one-step equation, a two-step equation, an equation with variables on both sides, and something with distributed property. So let's make this one. So this is the answer. I'll make it bigger. Well, let's create a one-step equation. Let's multiply both sides by 3. So 3 times k. So again, I guess I can do this. So I'll show you that I'm multiplying both sides by 3. 3 times k is 3k. And that's on the right side. 3 times 5 is 15. Look at that. You just created an equation. A one-step equation. Let's do something else. Let's make it now a little bit bigger. So let's subtract not 15. Let's subtract 30 from both sides. So on the left side, I'm going to go 3k minus 30, right? Because I'm subtracting 30 from this side. And on the right side, I'm going to write 15 minus 30, but we can combine those two, right? And 15 minus 30 becomes negative 15. Okay. So if you stop for a second, I'm going to just stop for a second. Let's take the first one, 3k equals 15. What would you have to do here? Well, you would divide this by 3, and you divide this by 3. That crosses out, and k equals 5. So we know we're good. The second one, 3k minus 30 equals negative 15. Right? So if we actually were to do our solving, we would do plus 30 here, plus 30 here. Then we get 3k, this goes away, and negative 15 plus 30 is just 15. Then we get divide by 3, and we get k equals 5. So all of these two equations we just created equals 5. So we're good so far. So let's make our equation a little bigger. So from here, let's sort of add parentheses. Let's add parentheses. I'm going to add parentheses on the left side. So here, it stays as negative 15. So how can we change this expression so that it now has parentheses? Well, we can factor it out, right? So look at 3k minus 30. So remember what we talked about 3k minus 30 when we were factoring, right? The ladder method. So this is going to be something like this, right? What's the greatest common factor between 3 and 30? Well, the greatest common factor between 3 and 30 is 3. 3 times what's 3k, or 3 divided by 3 is what? It's 1, or just, well, write 1k, you can. Minus, and 3 times what's 30, or 30 divided by 3 equals what? It's 10. So what we have is that this is our number outside, and 1k, and I'm not going to write 1k, I'm just going to write k, and then minus 10. So we just rewrote that expression, and now it has in parentheses. So if you think about it, now 3 times k is 3k, check. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30, check. We're good. We just created an equation with variables. With parentheses, I'm sorry. So now let's make it a little bigger. I don't know, let's add some variables. Let's add a variable to each side. So let's add, I'm just writing any numbers, 7k on this side, and let's add 7k on that side. So over here I'm going to go 3k minus 10 plus 7k. Ooh, I just made it bigger. Now on this side I'm going to go negative 15 plus 7k as well. Now this is an equation that you just created that has what? That has distributed property. It has variables on both sides. It's one big equation, and you just created one. I'll make another one. Actually, hang on a second. So I'm gonna do maybe a couple more. Let's pick a number. a equals -4, for example. So again, we want to create an equation or multi-step equation, but we start by steps, right? So the first thing I want to do in this case, and in this case, I'm going to multiply both sides, but I'm going to add. So let's start with addition first. So let's add 4 to each side. Well, let me pick a different number. Let's add 5 to the left side and add 5 to the right side. So if I add 5 to a, I'm going to get a plus 5, right? Because I can't combine those two. On the left side, if I do -4 plus 5 and I combine those two, which I can, I get 1, right? So again, just for you, you get a plus 5 equal 1 if you want to. And you double check, you're going to do you're going to do, right, if you were to solve this, you would do -5 on this side, -5 on that side. These two will go away. A equals, and 1 minus 5 is -4. So we're back to where we were, right? So far, so good. So let's make that equation a little bit bigger. And, well, since we added, right, so let's do, I don't know, let's multiply each side by 2. Take this side, multiply this side by 2, and multiply this side by 2. Let's do the easy side. So 1 times 2 is 2. So on the right side, I get 2. Now, here you have a choice. You can multiply everybody by 2, 2 times a, and then 2 times 5, or, no shortcut, we can do this, 2 times a plus 5. You end up getting the same thing. So let's say just for a second that you decided to multiply each individual term by 2. So you get 2 times a, which is 2a, and then 2 times 5, which is 10. Now, if you think about it, compare this expression with this expression. 2 times a is 2a, and 2 plus 5 is 10. So you get the same thing. So either way you did it would have been completely fine. Well, one of the next steps probably would have been to add parentheses to this, what do you call, equation. So I think we cut one of the steps out, which is not a bad thing. We can add, I don't know, let's add a variable to both sides. Let's add, well, a, so let's add 10a to the left side, and let's add 10a to the right side. What the heck? 10a, there we go, 10a. So I'm going to write 2a plus 5 plus 10a, right? On the right side, I'm going to do something different. Instead of just writing 10a, because that seems a little bit boring, I'm going to split 10a to 2 parts. I'm going to go 8a, then I'm going to write the plus 2, and then I'm going to write 2a. Did I add 10a to both, to the right side as well? I did, because I did 8a and 2a. Doesn't that combine give me 10a? I did. But that just makes it a little bit more interesting instead of just adding 10a to both sides. And then from here on, you can really do a lot of things. But if you get to this part, you just created a multi-step equation. So if you think about this last equation, this equation has everything. Does it have distributive property? Check. Does it have combine like terms? Do you need to combine terms on the left and the right side? Yes. Do you think there's going to be a variable on the left side and the right side? Yes. There's an a here and there's a here, right? You need to be solving. That's that. That's it. And then you can solve. So I'll do one more. Let's do, I don't know, c equals 12. Let's multiply both sides by 3. So we got 3c equals, and 3 times 12 is 36. Again, let's add. And you want to add, if you're adding, only because you want to think one step ahead, because we're eventually going to write something with a distributive property. You want to add something that's a multiple of 3, which is definitely not 4. I don't know why I wrote 4. So let's add 9. Let's add 9 to both sides. So 3c plus 9, that's good. And on the other side, 36 plus 9 is 45. Right? So we want to add parentheses, and we want to add the distributive property to this problem. So here, on the right side, nothing's going to happen. But on the left side, we want to change this so that that becomes this. So 3c plus 9, what factor was the greatest common factor between 3 and 9? Well, it's going to be 3. But now ask yourself, what this times what gives me 3c, and this times what will give me 9. So it looks like it's going to be a 3 and a c, right? 3 times c is 3c, and 3 times 9 is 9. If we've done that. Let's add a variable to both sides. I think that's the next step, right? Just to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's add, I pick a random number, 7c to both sides. So again, 3c plus 3 equals 45 plus 7c. We could have just done that. I'm sorry, I forgot the 7c here, right? Or again, like I did in the previous problem, you could have done 3c plus 3 plus 7c, and then I'm going to break up this 7c. You could have broken up this too. So instead of writing just 7c straight up, I'm going to write 45 plus 2c plus 5c. As long as it equals to 7c, you're good. So this is the big equation you just created. And now if you think about it, if you work backwards, this becomes this, and then that becomes this, and that becomes this, and that becomes this, and that becomes this. Isn't that how you would solve, right? Yeah, and then that's it. All right, posting this.